Are you
All
ready?
right. Star Wars tier list, baby. It's what I was born to do.
All right.
Everything in S tier.
Do you want do you want to change the tiers? I think the top tier should be Darth Jar Jar.
Dude, I was gonna say that too. Fuck yeah. All right.
Yeah, Darth Jar Jar is the most fun fan theory ever.
Yeah, I love it. And then F tier can just be normal Jar Jar. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit.
And then A tier can be Rap Jar Jar. When we had the
Oh,
guys.
well, beatbox Jar Jar. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Just all Jar Jar tiers. No, fuck it. I'm not creative enough to come up with more Jar Jars.
I think that's good enough. Then you have Master Knight and Padawan in between. I think that's fine.
Wait, what about regular Jar Jar where Padawan is, and at the end we can have
James
Jar Jar
Cor-
Corden? Yeah. Jar Jar Corden, perfect. You just leave it like that. You don't need to respect his last
No,
name.
no.
Right?
Otherwise, people might be confused who we're talking about.
Yes. Who is this Codren? Jar Jar Codren.
Wait, what's this? Is this New Hope? This one right here?
Yep. That first one is A New Hope. Star Wars movie made in like 1977. What do you think? Where would you put that?
I haven't seen the original trilogy since college, so it's been like 6 years for me. I really liked rewatching them. New Hope wasn't my favorite though.
Okay. Interesting.
I
Why?
I think it's very good, but my favorite was actually Return of the Jedi.
Whoa. Okay.
Yep.
That's not what I expected at all.
Mhm.
All right, so A New Hope
But
would
you-
go in
yeah.
A for me. It would go not at the top, but yeah,
Beatbox Jar Jar.
Yeah, and the reason why is I think it sets up the universe pretty well. It's got an interesting story, and it was like ahead of its time in terms of like effects and stuff. Yeah, I just think it's an impressive movie for the time.
When was the last time you saw it?
I watched them all like every 2 years maybe, so probably last Christmas I would say.
Okay. That makes sense
Yeah.
then. Did you see? Well, I don't know if this is even like anything out there, but I know that the movie was immediately labeled as like dog shit and saved with editing. Have you? Is there like an unedited version? Like, is there anything like that that exists? Because I'd be very curious to see what it looked like before it was saved.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think it exists. But the story is that his wife had to take over and start editing for him. I think her name's like Marsha, um, Marsha Lucas, I think. So yeah, she saved the film basically. George couldn't do anything right.
So does George even deserve most of the credit then?
I don't think so. Yes, because he had the original idea, I guess, and he's an alright director, I suppose. But he's like a one-hit wonder, really. The movies he did before that weren't great by any means.
Thanks for some
She
gold,
got an
man.
Oscar for it too, so she's alright.
His wife got an Oscar for the editing.
Yeah, the editing really did save it.
So she was the one that introduced all the fucking goofy transitions that still exist in all the movies today.
Yeah, those like cliches still exist. Those
Yeah. Windows Movie Maker effects.
window what are they called? Windows wipes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is just history. I don't think it belongs anywhere under A.
I agree. That's fine. Episode 2, you and I actually watched the new trilogy not too long ago. You fucking hated this movie. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, you're such a weird man.
Why? It's a fun movie.
It was so bad.
They have like they have the goofy little gladiatorial fight at the end where he's like, "This is easy."
Oh my god, it's an F tier for me. But you
No.
explain yourself. It's James Corden for me. I mean, Jar Jar Corden.
You would Jar Jar Corden this?
It is. If there was a tier below Jar Jar Corden, it would be going there. But
You make me say, Jackson, you didn't even dislike it that much. You're just trying to appease the hardcore Star Wars fans. It's
no,
not
don't
that
you dare
bad.
besmirch my
And then
name.
they have Yoda fight Count Dooku, and then
It's so bad. It doesn't even look cool.
how's it not cool? He catches a little lightning. He's like, oof. And then he throws a little debris on top of Anakin. It is a so bad it's good movie. I think it is very fun.
What about the fact that Natalie Portman is like totally fine with Anakin slaughtering a whole city, and they fall in love just like that for no reason?
But they killed his mommy. She's like, you know what? I'd probably do the same thing too. I'd commit genocide if that happened to me too.
He died immediately as soon as he showed up. Who's to say he didn't kill her?
Well, that's an interesting theory, I suppose.
What if he was so angry and stressed about the whole situation he reached out and like force choked her to death?
Now we're getting pretty deep. I don't think you have enough proof there for like Darth Jar Jar levels of intricacy, but I'd be curious to explore it. Thanks for
So where are
trying
you
to
putting
catch
this? You know where I'm putting it. Where are you
Well, I'm
putting it?
averaging R2. If it was me, I'd put it in night. This would be a
Really?
yeah.
You loved it when we watched it.
I
You
liked
couldn't
it.
stop sucking its dick.
I had a good big smile on my face for most of that movie. I had a goofy fucking grin. I thought it was super fun. You know, you have C3PO going through like the fucking industrial machines and shit. It's good.
I thought it was fucking awful, and I've always thought it was awful.
You
Even as a
did
kid, even
you
as a kid, I was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
you are putting on a strong face for the 5 Star Wars fanatics in here, Jackson, that are trying to
I
parrot that
swear,
idea.
Jack.
It is
I swear, fellow
you
Star
did
Wars
not
fans, I'm with you.
you did not hate it that much when we rewatched it. You did not.
Well, that's just because we were watching it together and goofing around and
No,
stuff. That's
no,
always a
no,
lot more fun. No,
no.
I distinctly remember saying like, "What the fuck are you going on about? Why do you like it so much?"
I recorded those, Jackson. I still have the proof.
Yeah, release it.
You don't want me to release those tapes.
Release it. I dare you. I'll just come out with my own press release saying it's edited. Deepfakes.
Marsha Lucas took hold of this one as well. It's a fucking fine movie. It's not great. It is a so bad it's good fun ride of a movie.
So bad it's good. I don't think so. I don't think it's not cheesy. Well, it is
It is
cheesy, but
super cheesy.
it's not fun enough. I don't.
And it's even important in today's society, Jackson, because now we have the meme from it where it's a you're gonna help, right? Right? You remember that meme with the Anakin? You know what I'm talking about. That's from this movie.
Oh yeah. You're right. So that should be going even lower then, because it contributed to memes, right? You hate
No,
memes.
no, I don't like memes, but I'm just saying it's an important movie.
Oh my god.
Is the prime flat?
What about the whole Camino arc? Do you like that? Where the planet's missing for some reason?
I think that's great. Yeah.
The political intrigue there. The only thing I like about the Clone Wars is that like it kind of makes Sidious look kind of cool because he planned everything from the start. That's about it.
I don't even remember it establishing that.
Remember, Sidious put the clone army plan in motion.
Oh, right.
He
Yeah,
was-
because they went to that planet where the
Yeah.
clones are getting made, and they established that. They met Jango Fett.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you meet Jango Fett. Like that's super fucking cool.
But they turned Jango Fett into like a bitch, and same with Boba. Although, all right, okay, it did have the cool Jango Fett Slave One, what do you call it, concussion bomb sound effect, and that was pretty cool. All right, I'll go Jar Jar for it.
All right, then I'll keep it there. I would personally put it in night, but I'll average this together and we'll keep it in Jar Jar. Thanks to resub
Alright,
Rogue and
sounds fair.
Cisco's.
What's next?
Rebels. I've never seen this. You've seen this, I
It's
guess.
it's a children's show. It's pretty standard. I think it's worse than Clone Wars. I'd put it in Jar Jar as well. Oh, actually, maybe Night.
Well, tell me a little about it. Is it cool at all? Anything cool happen?
It's just a story of like a youngling who survives past the Order 66 stuff, and then a Jedi who's in exile trains him, and they go on a few hijinks and stuff. You see the conclusion of the Ahsoka and Darth Vader story, at least currently. There's some cool moments and stuff, but it's still just like a children's show. I don't know. It's alright. I wouldn't say it's like super bad or anything, but it's not to the same level as like Clone Wars in my mind.
Okay, then I'll keep it in night. And you haven't seen this one, right?
No, I don't. I don't know what that one is.
I'll just put it in Jar Jar Corden because it's for kids and Star Wars is
Yeah,
not meant for kids, it's for adults.
People are saying that it's Corden, so that sounds about right. I haven't heard anything about it, so I can't imagine it's good.
Okay, then I'll just keep it in Corden.
Return of the Jedi, baby.
Yeah, I fucking love Return of the Jedi. This is the most hated in the original trilogy, though, right?
It's the least liked. I don't know if I'd say hated.
I fucking like Return of the Jedi.
What's your favorite part about it?
I just like how everything culminates at the end. I think it's just a very satisfying movie. Like, there's no real complaints I have about Return of the Jedi.
My complaint is the Ewoks. Like, just
I love the what? You just hate fun. You literally just hate fun. You take your Star Wars too fucking seriously. The Ewoks are so good.
But then that's like how it that's that's how it all concludes. Is the Ewoks save the
Yeah,
day?
the Ewoks are fucking great.
I don't
And they
know.
make cute little noises. They're very, like
They're cute.
little teddy
I don't know.
bears.
I think A tier for Return of the Jedi.
Well, yeah, I mean, Star Wars fans would have our heads if we put that at Darth Jar Jar. I think I understand that I'm in the minority opinion that I think it's the strongest of the original, but I
I
stand
think
by it. I think it's good.
I've met a lot of people that say that that's their favorite as well. And you're right, it does have a pretty satisfying conclusion with like the Luke and Vader scenes and Vader redeeming himself finally, like finishing the prophecy or whatever. There is strong elements there, and I like it. It's just I don't think it's S tier for me, at least.
That's fine. I mean, I'll let that ride.
All right, here we go.
I
This is gonna
love,
be controversial.
I love Revenge of the Sith.
This is S tier for me.
I fucking love
Revenge
you.
of the Sith.
It's so good. Like
It is
set
so good.
set aside George Lucas's goofiness. Just
Yep.
throw that shit away. Every element in that movie I thought was a great idea, even if executed poorly.
I don't think a lot of it was executed poorly.
Some of
either,
it's pretty goofy though.
like what?
The fucking Kenobi fight against Grievous. I think that's really goofy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that the Kenobi versus Skywalker.
No,
Anakin fight
Kenobi versus Grievous. I think it's really goofy.
I kind of loved that fight as well because it makes sense. He had to adjust his fighting style to accommodate for the four sabers.
Yeah, but it's kind of dumb. He like peels apart his titties and he's like, "There it is," and he fucking blasts it. It's pretty goofy.
But that made Grievous like that was the first introduction to Grievous. I'm pretty sure, at least was it actually? Maybe there was like a cartoon or something with him, but it was the first introduction on the big screen, and it made him pretty imposing. I think it made him look like otherworldly and cool.
No, I think Grievous is super cool, but I just think the fight was pretty lame. At least the way that he finally kills him, I think, is kind of lame. His death is cool. Like, it looks cool. Like, he fucking, like, melts inside out. But I just think, like, peeling apart and seeing a beating heart in his chest was kind of dumb.
So from that trilogy, though, I think Revenge of the Sith is the most cohesive movie.
Mhm.
It's got the strongest elements, and it feels like a solid story. Like
Oh,
you have really cool emotional moments, and it's not held down by the previous two movies, which is good.
absolutely. And I just thought of the biggest, goofiest thing, the fucking ending. I'm sure we can spoil the ending by now.
Oh yeah.
Where she's like, she's actually totally fine, but she's lost her will to live, so she's dead.
She chose to die.
Yeah, it's fucking, like, it's super, there's so many dumb things in there, but I love the ideas. If you could have thought of a way to, like, actually have her die that wasn't like, yeah, she just decided she didn't want to live, so she just died.
I think I can explain this a little bit. I think it was
Please do,
said by a
Roscoe.
medical droid, so they don't have a answer for like force-related injuries. But there's a rumor or I don't know fan theory going around that Palpatine reached out and killed her in that moment to ensure that Vader is completely under his control going forward, and that makes a lot of sense to me.
Oh, how the fuck would he do that? Did he have, like, a death note or something and give her a heart attack? How would he have reached out?
She was already kind of pretty much dead.
Yeah, but he
He
wouldn't
just
have
had
been
to
able.
manipulate it a little bit. Hey, he's a Sith Lord. He can do anything.
What is he
Come
gonna?
on.
What, he can't just, like, reach out and stop her heart. Like, that hasn't been established.
Well, clearly he did.
No, as was explained by the advanced medical droid Jackson, she just lost her will to live.
Yeah, I guess that's more explainable. She chose to die, so she did.
Yeah. She said, "It's my time to pass on. Anakin is a bad guy.
See, that's what I love about George Lucas. He
He's
must have been
fucking
hurt
dumb.
during-
He's dumb."
He must have been hurt during his teen years because he wrote in a plot point where she dies from heartbreak.
Yeah.
George Lucas went full emo.
Yeah, he's been waiting to use that one.
It's such a good movie, though. It's got such great action scenes. It's got such
Mhm.
great emotional moments. It's like, oh, it's so good.
Ewan
S tier.
McGregor also carries the fuck out of the acting in that movie.
All right, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think, what's his name? What's Anakin's actor's name?
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden, yeah. I think he was pretty bad in Attack of the Clones, but I think he brought it home for the
He
third
did,
movie.
he did really well there, but I still think Ewan McGregor is the most likable part about the prequels.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
the
and you
Brad
have the
Pitt
scene
in
where
Bodies.
fucking Mace Windu arrests Palpatine. Mace Windu. Fuck. Jesus. I give up. I don't want to talk about Mace Windu anymore.
I really wish they brought him back. I will say one of my biggest complaints about the original trilogy is they didn't establish him as a very cool character. Like they didn't show how fucking badass Mace Windu
Yeah.
is. The extended universe does a good job. He has his own style. He's the only one with his own style, right?
Yeah, he's super powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has his own form. Yeah.
It's so fucking cool, but they didn't show any of that in the original trilogy.
I'm pretty sure he has his own rank as well. Like, so Yoda's legally the head of the Jedi Order, the Jedi Temple, but then there's also Mace Windu who serves like parallel in terms of powers and responsibilities. He's like, I think it's called like Jedi Blade Master or something cool.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, he's like this. He's just as like respected as Yoda.
Yeah, I just wish they did a little more with his character. I was praying they were going to bring him back for the new trilogy, and I know Samuel Jackson really wanted to come back too. I think they missed an opportunity.
I hated how quickly they killed off the 3 Jedi that went with him to arrest.
Yeah, who was it? Was Kit Fisto? Someone?
Kit Fisto, who's fucking fantastic. Who's also really good at lightsaber combat. But they killed them off immediately, which was a shame.
I used to love Kit Fisto just because the way he looked. I had the action figures when I was a kid, and I loved Kit Fisto's design. I used to play with him like in the bathtub. I used to make him fight some stormtroopers.
Oh, yeah.
Kit Fisto was so fucking cool.
There are a lot of cool Jedi that didn't get enough screen time. But this can't go under like an S tier though. Think about it. You got Order 66, one of the coolest moments in Star Wars history, where Palpatine finally like executes every Jedi possible, which is insane. And then you've also got like the Anakin and Anakin's fall to Sithhood, becoming Darth Vader. It's just so good.
I absolutely think that's S tier. You and I differ heavily on this next one though. Where do you want Rogue One?
Yeah, this is an A tier for me.
I couldn't fucking stand Rogue One. I found it.
Did we watch it together?
No. I found it to be very boring, and I really just didn't find it to be super satisfying. I like the ending because they bring in Darth Vader and he's super cool, but the whole journey I just felt was just kind of not interesting. I didn't care for the characters except the robot. I think they dreadfully misused Donnie Yin's abilities. He didn't really do a whole lot. He's just, I'm one with the Force is one with me, as he just like slowly walks getting shot at. Like, I just didn't really like the movie that much.
I just think it sets the stage and like provides context for A New Hope in a really smart, cool way. Like it fits that kind of period nicely, and it was pretty intelligently done. And just the whole end of the movie was just so fucking cool to watch.
I think the end of the movie is cool. Like, I think the end is cool. And they kill off the main character, which is pretty brave. I thought it was cool at the very end, but everything else was so fucking boring, and it just felt so meaningless. Well, meaningless is the wrong word. It just didn't. I wasn't interested because the characters weren't interesting to me.
I didn't hate the characters. I see what you're saying. Like there were a lot introduced and they didn't really do a whole lot. But I didn't hate them, so I wasn't like detached from it. And I think it had really cool visuals on that Jeddah planet where it blows up from the Death Star test, and then also from that rainy planet where she goes and sees her father. I just think there were really cool set pieces along the way, so I wasn't too bored. I guess I wasn't really bored at all, and I liked it. It's an A tier for me.
All right, we're gonna meet in the middle at B tier then at Master, because I would have given it Knight at best.
Fair.
I like Solo, but I don't think it's a good Star Wars movie. What do you think about Solo?
Solo would be going in Master for me, so B tier.
That's even a little higher than I would have given it, and I actually like the movie.
I thought it was super enjoyable. I thought the characters were really engaging and fun to watch. I thought the places they went to were really fun. I didn't have any problems with it, really.
Well, it's just... So for me, the thing is, it just feels like a pretty generic sci-fi adventure, but like a really fun one. Like, I don't think it does a whole lot in the Star Wars world. It didn't make me care much more about...
There's no real, like, large stakes or anything.
Yeah, it was all like a... It seems like a literal side quest that you would have experienced at some point in a video game, like the Star Wars MMO. But I thought it was still pretty fun. Like, I liked the journey and everything. It just doesn't feel like it has much weight in the universe.
Wait a second. We've got someone in chat who worked on Solo, apparently.
Yeah, is it Andrew? Was it Andrew?
Yeah.
Andrew does a lot of the 3D for a lot of big movies. Like Dune is his big upcoming one.
Oh, holy fuck.
I thought you were finally realizing that I've been in here for 10 minutes.
Oh.
Just listening, waiting.
Why didn't you say something?
Yeah, what the fuck, Matt?
Well, I knew Charlie wouldn't hear it because he's in streamer mode, but I thought for sure Jackson would have heard the ping.
No, I didn't.
I
My
threw
bad.
some Croesus, Wolf, and Pumpkin.
You
Wow.
could have just said something though.
I wanted to see. I was sitting here leaning back with my eyes closed, relaxing. Just wanted to see how it was going.
Well, do you have any
Well-
opinions on Rogue One?
I did not like Rogue One, and I did not see Solo.
Okay.
So you and I are in agreement on Rogue One. Looks like some Lucas.
Yes, I was not a big fan.
What did I say Solo was?
You said you were gonna give Solo Master. I don't think it's an A tier. I really this would be
Oh, Master's B tier.
yeah, that'd be B tier. You're right.
I think it's fun. at
Actually,
B
I'd be
tier.
fine with B tier now that I see that. Yeah, I think I'd be fine with B tier to be fair.
Alright, so we're in agreement.
It's a fun movie. I don't think it's a good Star Wars movie though. They should have just I don't even know what they would have done, but it just feels like such a forgettable's the wrong word, but meaningless movie.
I
Wait.
feel like I
Oh.
was tired of every Star Wars movie having like galaxy ending consequences and stuff. It was kind of nice to get like a more personal story.
I also like that they had Darth Maul at the end. That was cool.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was just cool to see him. What's this? Clone Wars?
I'm going to talk before Charlie does because people keep saying I agree with them. I love Clone Wars.
Me too, Matt. Oh my god, me too.
You and
this
I.
Charlie, this is the old Clone Wars, so
Mhm.
it's the Clone Wars. Oh, is this the Clone Wars movies instead of the
Oh.
Clone Wars animated show?
Here, I'll
In
do
which case,
show.
F tier.
No, I've never
alright.
even seen the movie.
I didn't know there was a movie.
The movie was so fucking bad. Holy shit,
I
so
didn't-
bad.
Is that Jar Jar Corden?
Yeah, that's Jar Jar Corden for me.
I didn't realize that. That's incredible.
The movies were so bad. Oh god.
Okay,
I-
you and I talked about the Clone Wars. I don't remember liking the Clone Wars that much. I mainly remember the earlier seasons being pretty boring, and I don't remember a whole lot of the middle stuff. You and I, Jackson, watched the newest Clone Wars season, and I thought that was good,
It was really good. Yeah.
but I don't remember a whole lot in between.
Owned the whole set on DVD.
So you're right. The first maybe 2 seasons are a bit of a slog to get through, but after that, like the stakes rise, everything becomes cooler to watch. Like the action and animation is improved, and it becomes really
Yeah, it definitely
enjoyable.
was much improved. I would also say the first two. I was so young when I watched them that they didn't feel like a slog, but looking back compared to the rest, it does not stand up to it.
I wish I watched it as a kid. I can't
Yeah.
believe I didn't.
I rented it or I bought it on DVD before a plane ride and watched it on my portable DVD player.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
it was
pretty
great.
cool.
That is
So
pretty
that's-
cool.
That's also probably why I love it so
Is
much,
there
is I
some
had
pet
such a
tech?
nostalgic feel
Yeah.
for the early seasons. Too.
Where would you two put it then? I only remember the early boring seasons. I like the most recent season though that you and I watched, but I don't have a
Over-
strong opinion.
Overall, I'd actually give it an A.
Yeah, I was gonna say A. It's gotta at least be master, but I would say beatbox Jar Jar.
Yeah, it'll be Beatbox Jar Jar. Then you wouldn't put it up there with Darth Jar Jar.
I would not.
What about you, Jackson? Would you put it at Darth Jar Jar?
I'd put some of the episodes of the later season up there in Darth Jar Jar, but we got to judge it on
Fair.
like
I-
a whole.
There are definite parts that are full S tier.
Yeah, but I think I've got to judge it as an entire package, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so A tier for me. There are some episodes that drag it down.
True Ski Master. Empire Strikes Back.
S tier for me. Oh my god, S tier. So good. Oh,
Matt.
it's a classic. S tier.
Which one are we talking about? Sorry. I was
Empire
reading something.
Strikes Back.
That's. Oh, you'd go S tier?
I think it's the best Star Wars thing.
This is, keep in mind, Matt, in case you're a little confused, this is the one with I Am Your Father.
Yeah,
I'm-
I mean that's fair. I guess. All right, so I first time I watched it, I would agree with you, S tier. But I just have watched them so recently that they just feel like such shitty movies, which is really hard to say.
Ooh,
They're from 40 years ago.
pretty
so-
I-
hot
they-
take.
There's no way to say that they could stand up right now. They're just so old. But when I first watched it, yeah, it's great. I mean, you've got brothers kissing sisters. It's wonderful.
We do like that. We do like that.
Take that back. No, they they're still good movies, but they look like shit right now.
That's fine. I get what you're saying.
In the Star Wars
Still
universe,
for me.
though, I think you do have an argument though to put it in S that has a lot of the best moments of the Star Wars universe.
I don't think Star Wars would have survived without it.
Yeah, that movie slapped when it came out.
I
What
watched
do you
that
think,
movie.
Billy?
I like it a lot. I still prefer Return of the Jedi, but I think Empire Strikes Back is the most important movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's so many just historic moments during it.
Yeah, that's true. You've got cutting out the guts to stay warm, brothers
All of-
kissing sisters.
You got
I mean,
Yoda on Dagobah.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got
true. It's honestly got like 90% of the most important issues.
Yeah, it's so good. And Luke finally becomes like a Jedi. And there's the whole like him struggling to come to terms with that. It's just such a classic movie. I love it. One of the easiest watches for me. What's next?
Yeah, this one is
Now we-
Force
Now we get
Awakens.
into some controversial
The-
stuff.
This isn't controversial. I mean, this is the new trilogy. The only almost decent new trilogy movie is The Force Awakens.
Agreed.
It is the only one with any redeeming qualities. Finn, I think, could have been a super interesting character, and they just fucking threw him away for nothing.
Yeah, I loved him.
It
His
is.
actor was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a toss up between B and C for me for Force Awakens, and a majority of that is just due to just the charisma of like Harrison Ford and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it still is a movie though. I don't think it's like a really great movie. It does pretty much everything the original trilogy did in one movie, with the addition of Finn. Finn was something brand new.
Yeah.
It hits the same
Oh.
beats for the most part. I just don't think it's like super great. I'd be fine with B though. B or C is fine with me.
I honestly can't decide. It'll have to be up to you two. I'm saying B or C.
What do you think, Matt?
I would go C.
Is that
But
because of your
now-
kidney stone?
Yeah, because of my kidney stone.
There's gonna be an A for Matt, but
Yeah. But now I'm being called James Corden in the chat for my initial opinion.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, you don't want that evil
Yeah,
on
so
you.
I'm gonna leave the call. I'll see you guys later.
oh man,
I'm
that'd be me. Matt.
I'm content with C. I think it's definitely the best of the new trilogy, but it's not that great. It really isn't.
Yeah, but,
It was
Man,
an
I don't know.
entertaining movie. I did not regret seeing it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I also think I enjoyed Rogue One and Solo more than it actually, so I'm fine with that.
haven't seen Solo. I remember thinking Rogue One was interesting. A little boring.
All right, who's ready for the next one?
I wonder how divisive this is going to be between us.
I think this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Which one is it?
This is The Last Jedi.
Mm.
I think this is a Corden all fucking day.
You see, this is going to be divisive. I think it's on the same tier as Attack of the Clones. Then I think it's Jar Jar.
No
I
fucking
don't-
way.
I think the final movie is far worse. I think the final movie
Okay, I will concede the final movie is a lot worse, but I felt so personally offended after watching The Last Jedi for the second time. It's so bad. It's so
You
fucking
see,
bad.
I felt more personally offended over the last movie because if they had have made the Last Jedi stand for something or mean something in the end, I would have been fine with the Last Jedi.
Well, at least with okay, I can't really defend either one, but The Last Jedi has like the most insulting character death ever, where they just fucking kill Snoke and he had never done anything. Like he was a completely worthless throwaway villain. Like he was hyped up in the first movie, you're like,
That's what I
oh,
mean.
this is gonna be a big bad guy, and then he just gets.
That's what I mean though. If they had have made Snoke mean something in the last
Oh,
movie
I see
other
what you're
than being a vat test dummy for Palpatine again, it
I
would have
get
been
you.
far cooler. But instead, because of the fan backlash, they let that kind of shit dictate what happens in the last movie when there should have been a cohesive plan from the beginning.
Well, there
They
was
shouldn't have
no.
been making it up on the spot.
They kept flip flopping directors. They didn't have a plan to begin with. I don't
Yeah,
think.
which
I don't
is-
think it was fan pressure.
Well, no, it was a mixture of both. Clearly, like the reaction to Last Jedi definitely influenced the final movie. There's no way it didn't. But that's mainly because they didn't have a plan going forward anyway. They're just making shit up on the spot. But I do think the last movie was worse.
Yeah, well, I think you're also misremembering a couple scenes from The Last Jedi. Do you remember when Princess Leia has her Superman moment in space?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty fucking stupid. Do you remember when the girl crashes into Finn, when Finn was about to make like his actual huge character arc, an actual moment for the character that they had forgotten about?
Yeah.
It's like,
She goes out of her way to stop that moment from happening.
yep, and then make sure that the entire like rest of the people in the facility get blasted by the thing Finn was about to destroy.
And then she's all like, "We don't win this by fighting each other. We win it by loving each other." Or something.
I think the quote was, "It's not about fighting. It's not about killing to protect the ones we love. It's about loving or some shit." It was something about
That's Rose, right?
yeah, Rose.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
Fuck, what? It was so stupid. It was so fucking stupid.
Let's see.
I don't remember.
And then, oh my god, the entire middle half of that movie on the casino planet.
The casino having absolutely no bearing on anything ever.
Literally nothing.
Also, it's so bad.
Oh,
Anyway.
is this the quote? That's how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate, saving what we love.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like, you idiot! You've got to fight
Gotta
what you
fight
hate,
what you hate to save
love.
what you love.
It is literally saying the same thing. She is.
I totally forgot that the casino fucking filler arc existed in that movie.
Yeah, it was this movie. And they also had Phasma, who was at least hyped up to be something worthwhile, and then she just
looked badass.
and then she just like what was it? She falls into fire.
Yeah, that was after she falls in the trash compactor in the first movie too.
Yeah. Oh,
Really
it's
cool.
So
Their biggest
fucking dumb.
weakness is how clumsy their leader is.
Oh, it was so fucking stupid. I think The Last Jedi is the worst movie.
Man, you're making a good point, and I just remembered like the entire start where what's the part Poe shows up in front of the Star Destroyer and he makes like a prank call on them.
Yeah.
But saying it out loud, it sounds like we're making a joke or like this is satire.
But
Or
it's the
something.
actual movie.
This is actually like plot points from the movie.
Yeah. I also still think one of the stupider fucking things, like the entire movie takes place during like the lowest speed chase of all time, where they're like, oh, their engines are dead. We'll just sit here and fire nothing at them. You know, they could, just let them die out there or something. And then like the main casino thing happens is because the main captain of that ship didn't tell Poe anything. She's just like sitting out there dead with her thumb in her ass. So Poe's like, all right, we need to do something. Let's go to the casino. When all she needed to do was just share like a little idea, like a hint that she was trying to make something happen, and half of the movie would have not happened.
Just a bit of communication could have prevented a whole lot of unnecessary shit.
It
That's
was
a life lesson right there.
Oh, it was
Although-
so stupid.
It did lead to probably my favorite visuals in probably the entire saga, which is when she like hyperspaced directly through the ship.
Yeah, that was
some of the
cool.
cool visuals.
That
It
was
so
very cool, but it like that was so useless. It shouldn't have even come down to that if she had just communicated her plan.
Yeah, I agree.
The whole movie it was based
That
off
was
of
a
all
really
the
cool
characters
visual,
being
though.
dumb.
You are right.
The only cool thing about that movie, I think, was that as well as Kylo Ren. I think Kylo Ren was cool throughout the entire trilogy.
Yeah, Kylo Ren's I think an interesting character. I think Ben Solo was cool.
And fun to watch,
Yeah.
But it doesn't save a bad movie. Yeah, I'm fine with F tier, by the way. But I think I felt more offended by the last movie, which is why I think I hated it more.
Okay, well let's finish off with that one then. So let's go to Mandalorian. I love Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mandalorian is so good.
Man, it is so good. It's got to be an S tier for me.
It's got to be Darth Jar Jar.
I agree. That show was fucking amazing.
It is so good. It is so fucking good. They in the first season though. I did get worried when they had that one. Well, I think it was one episode. They go to that planet and he like gives people sticks to fight the AT-AT. I thought that was trash. I didn't like that episode.
I knew that's the episode you were gonna call
Yeah.
out too.
I thought that was just a really bad episode, but then it found its footing again and it was great.
Yeah.
I
That's
got
the only bad episode.
yeah, I got a little worried when that happened.
No, I think it's such like a nice heartfelt story, and it like that as well as Jedi Fallen Order came out at a time when I was just not interested in Star Wars at all. Like it was my least, like I just didn't care about Star Wars at that
That's
point.
true.
because
I had no interest in it
Yeah.
at the time, and so many people told me to watch it, and it was so good.
It was.
I
so
think it's
fucking
I
good.
think it's single-handedly, well, along with Fallen Order, it like saved Star Wars for me because after the trilogy just beating it to death in front of my eyes. It was just nice to have something that was good.
There was a public flogging of the Star Wars property by Disney. It was rough.
Yeah, so I think even if it's not, maybe it's not an S tier in terms of like the stakes or the filmmaking or anything like that, but it's an S tier in terms of like sentimental
It
value
was
to
there
me.
when we needed it the most.
I think it was the most important thing for Star Wars to prove like they can actually make something good out of the universe, because this is following the fucking worst one, Last of the Jedi. So it was very important that they got that right.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how both the Clone Wars and Mandalorian are like run by the same guy? Almost like he should be leading Star Wars for the future.
Oh, that's a good take. That would be interesting.
That's Filoni. He did Clone Wars
Dave
too.
Filoni. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he's a god.
There's
I
Savannah
worship him.
and Brown.
Wow.
This might get divisive. I like Phantom Menace a lot.
Phantom Menace.
I think it's great. I think it's very good. I think the hate
Yeah,
that it
it's-
gets is overblown.
The best.
Sure. The best? You think it's the best?
I certainly wouldn't say that. That was Matt. Don't put those words in my mouth.
No, that's
Do
what
you
I'm saying.
guys hear me? I didn't finish on the best.
Oh,
Oh, well, what were you gonna say?
There was more to that statement. I was saying the best Jar Jar moments.
true. That was a Jar Jar highlight reel.
Yes, it was.
It was the last
So-
time Jar Jar was allowed any screen time. actually.
I was sitting there. I was deafening myself over and over to see if that would fix my voice, as you guys were just going, "Don't say that, Matt."
Yeah, you were about to go down a path we couldn't save you from.
Phantom Menace was phenomenal.
I think it's a good movie.
The only part I really love is like the end with Duel of the Fates and Maul fighting.
That's
Qui-Gon.
probably one of the best fights in the series, though.
I agree, but I don't love the whole rest of it really.
I still think it's fine though. Like Anakin and the pod racing and shit. I think
I was
all that's
literally
fine.
about to say the pod racing. Oh God! Don't
Yeah.
even get me started.
Plus, even like with the droid fights where Jar Jar takes like the little nutsack balls and he's like blasting
Jar
them.
Jar single-handedly won them that fight.
Yeah,
All
Jar
right.
Jar was a hero.
Yes, it
Which
was an
part?
accident, but he won that
Oh, yeah.
battle.
I would say for me it'd be Knight, but it's yeah.
I think the hate that it gets is overblown. Like the young actor, the kid who played Anakin, had his whole life ruined from this
I
movie.
know. It's so sad.
It's so
sad,
tragic.
for sure.
His
We should
life.
have known not to make Twitter based on that alone.
Yeah,
Don't
that
say
was
his name.
rough.
Don't send more people against him.
Yeah.
I think he gets more support than anything now. Most people.
Everyone go support him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
we go send them lovely things on Twitter.
I definitely see the problems the movie had. Like for sure, it's not like a great movie, but I still think it's a good enough movie, and I think it sets it up pretty well. I don't have any like major complaints except Qui-Gon Jinn. I didn't think Qui-Gon Jinn was really cool until the end.
Really, I loved Qui-Gon as a kid.
I thought Qui-Gon was the coolest part of the movie for the most part.
I thought he was only cool at the end.
Qui-Gon was my boy growing up.
Yeah.
What?
Well, not like I was friends with him in real life. He was my favorite Jedi. Me and Qui-Gon go way back.
I definitely liked it more than Attack of the Clones for sure. Yeah, it's a night for me.
I'm going. I'd have to go Master. I think it's very good. Well, good enough.
You clearly love the original, not the original trilogy, the prequels, because you've loved both.
Yeah, I
One,
think
two,
I
and
think
three.
I really think a lot of people don't remember how enjoyable they are.
So you a bigger Star Wars fan than I am because you like decently like the originals and the prequels, whereas I'm more
Yeah,
mixed. on the
I
prequels.
I think they are decently fun films. Revenge of the Sith, I think, is the best. Like, as you said, I definitely think it's the best of the prequels. I think it's up there with Empire Strikes Back, which is why they're both in Darth Jar Jar. And I don't think Episode 1 and 2 are that shitty. I really don't. I used to. I used to until you and I rewatched them. What was that? 2 years ago. And I was like, you know what? These are pretty
No.
fucking good.
I think it was last year.
No, it was at least 2 years ago. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I was between Master and Beatbox Jar Jar, so Master it is.
Good. Welcome to the right side of history.
And finally, I think we can all agree this one goes in Jar Jar Corden as well,
This is Jar Jar Corden.
for sure.
This is a Jar Jar Corden
I haven't even
Schumer.
seen it, so I'll just agree.
I have never been more offended. Like, I felt sick watching this movie.
Really?
Matt, it is so bad. Even if
It's
you don't
that
know,
bad?
even if you know nothing about Star Wars, the movie itself is absolute dog
Oh,
ass.
God.
It is a load of dog nutties. It is rough.
I'll have to watch it.
It had so much relying on it. It had like the entire franchise relying on it, and not only did it not accomplish kind of like just making me entertained, it genuinely offended me. Like you did the worst possible job at the most important time. Like how stupid do you think we are?
I'm
seriously.
actually very curious to watch it now to see why it's so bad.
I think you should. I watch it over the course of like a day or something because it's a kind of long movie. So just maybe like an hour one day and then another hour another day. So you're not like completely nauseous. It's bad.
All right, I'll break it up into parts.
I wouldn't even recommend watching it. I just want to forget it exists.
Well, it makes you this angry. I have
some
to.
slow cat and grandma.
Remember the fucking oh my god! Remember when Ray walks into the Star Destroyer in the dark room, and then Evil Ray jumps out with like fangs and stuff.
Wait,
and then,
what?
And then they just ignore that forever. She just walks off. It's like that just existed for the fucking trailers.
Oh god, yeah, that was so
It was only in the trailers. You're saying?
Yeah.
It was so fucking bad.
And hey, how about? Oh my god, I'm getting mad.
No, just go over it. Speak to us, Jackson. This is your only time to vent about this.
Yeah, tell me more so I don't have to watch it.
Remember when Chewbacca got on a transport and it flies up into the sky, and then Kylo Ren and Rey have a little force battle, and the ship explodes, and then it's meant to relay to the audience that Chewbacca just died, so the audience is all sad because their favorite character just died. But then, for some reason, another transport takes off from behind a rock, and it's revealed that Chewbacca was actually on that ship,
Yeah.
and he gets away.
Everything comes out of fucking nowhere. She also gets the ability to like heal people with the Force as well. She basically just gets everything out of nowhere all at once, and she uses it like dog shit.
Andrew just said in chat, don't forget my ship dropping off horses on top of a Star Destroyer at the end. Yeah, because that makes sense. They needed to have a cool scene where people were on horses.
Oh, you remember at the end where Finn is like, well, they need to find like where the transmission is coming from, and Finn's like, it's that ship. I feel it, and it was that ship out of nowhere. He's like, yeah, it's that ship. I think.
I need to watch this. It sounds like a high school like film class film.
It's a fanfic. It's a fanfic.
Oh god.
Just the whole context of the movie is so stupid. I remember the fucking opening crawl or the first thing said. They're literally like, somehow Palpatine has returned.
Oh
That's the words they use.
Yeah.
Like, even they know how stupid it is.
There's no story to it.
Yeah. They literally opens by just saying, and Palpatine is mysteriously back.
Pretty sure they use the word somehow. Like
No,
they say somehow.
no. It was more open ended than that. Thank you for the 5 gifts.
It was so funny. Like I laughed. I'm gonna look it up.
It's pretty much everything that could go wrong with that movie went wrong in the biggest possible way.
It's somehow Palpatine returned, by the way.
It is somehow Palpatine returned?
Yeah, Poe Dameron says it at the start.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Now that's expert writing.
It is actually so good.
How did this happen? I don't know. It just did.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
They like hit the emergency button and they were like, after the last Jedi, they're like, who can we bring back that'll make fans like us again? Palpatine, quickly! He wants money. Get him back in here.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ugh.
That's terrible.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
There's not a single good moment in that movie.
Everybody keeps spamming. They fly now.
What's that? I don't remember that.
Apparently, it's a line.
Yeah. So when the stormtroopers get jetpacks and they're flying towards them out in the desert, someone makes the snarky comment and says, "They fly now." It's just full of bad.
So there's good humor in it too.
Yes.
Oh, you bet, baby. Oh man, should be a comedy.
I'm excited.
Oh, you know who wasn't in that movie at all is Rose. I feel like every single time they made a new movie in the trilogy, they tried to listen to fans' feedback, but couldn't figure out like how. So people didn't like what Rose did at the end. So in the last movie, she just wasn't there at all.
Yeah, she's relegated to like an extra in the background.
Yeah, she was quite literally like janitorial services.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
And then they then introduced. They still introduced like 60 new characters for some reason, and didn't give any of them any character development. They were just there, like the girl
Jesus.
Zori Bliss or whatever. Like again, I've never felt more offended. Everything felt like so soulless and so disingenuous, and this is the first time in a franchise that's built of this that I have ever felt like they just did this to sell merchandise. You know what I mean? Like I know Star Wars, that's basically their whole modus operandi. Like that's just what they do. But this is the first movie that I've actually felt like, why is this person here? Oh right, to sell me a new Lego set later on. So
I think the highlight of the new trilogy is when Mark Hamill milks the titty monster. I think that's
Oh,
like the
yeah.
only good moment.
That is wonderful.
That is a good moment. Other than that, it's
Also,
kind of
the
shit.
way people are talking, it sounds like Rose got the same treatment as Anakin.
Oh, the actress.
Yeah.
Oh, people. Well, in The Last Jedi, people got so fucking mad at the actress, and people are too stupid to realize she didn't write that.
Right.
She's just the actress. Like they're targeting the
Oh.
wrong people.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Do you remember in the movie Jackson, Finn for like half of it's like, Ray, I want to tell you something, and then he never does.
stop making me remember it.
Chat pointed that out. I actually forgot about that too. Chat pointed it out.
I don't want to remember it.
Oh, do you remember how they found like the like outer rim where Palpatine was hiding? What was it? It was like a ceremonial dagger that they had to take to like a tattoo artist or some shit to like hack it.
Yeah, they had a dagger and they had to go to the one spot where they could line it up with like the horizon or some dumb shit. Oh my god. That's how they found like the Star Destroyer at the end.
Yeah. What the fuck was that though? What was the explanation for the dagger? Did they ever give one?
Palpatine sent out scouts or something and gave them those daggers.
But why would the daggers have a map to where he's hiding?
Yeah, that's very convenient.
So they could get back home, I don't know.
Okay, I guess.
Don't make me explain it. They could barely explain it themselves. What makes you think I could? Oh man. So only Star Wars movie that I've ever seen one time. And it was still one time too many.
You actually didn't see that twice?
Nope. Only saw it once.
That's incredible.
Yeah, you know me.
Is it tier
Even
one?
movies I'm like
Red
lukewarm
Homie
on, I
and the
might
Resub
go see a
Tesco.
second time. Just to really savor it, especially with franchises I love. This one? Nope. One time.
Do you think they're gonna try again with a big budget Star Wars movie, like in the mainline universe?
Jesus Christ, I hope not. I hope not for a long while. And if they do, they need to have a plan going in. They can't do this ever again. They can't just make it up on the spot. I think maybe I think the Mandalorian's the way forward. Do shit like the Mandalorian, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
But if they do, I'd like to see like Old Republic, trilogy with like Darth Revan because he's like the coolest character in all of Star Wars history. But they need to do that like with a strong plan in place.
Well, they are known for strong plans, so I'm optimistic.
We
You
should
know-
Rose a spinoff.
You know who they had lined up to do the next Star Wars trilogy? I don't know if it's still happening, but they had the guys from Game of Thrones.
Yes,
lined up to do
that's one of my favorite pieces. So they're D&D, right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. D&D, the people responsible for Game of Thrones and also responsible for how fucking atrocious season 8 was.
God, yeah.
Yeah, they were contracted to do Star Wars, but they fucked it so
I
hard.
remember that.
They fucked it so hard with Game of Thrones season 8 that they canned it.
I don't know if they canned it.
They
Did
did. Nope, they canned it. That project that they were going to work on is no longer in production, last I heard.
Which is a great move.
And the reason, and I don't know if this is true, but apparently the reason why Game of Thrones season 7 and 8 were so bad is because they had that opportunity and wanted to get to it because they were only allowed to do it after Game of Thrones. So they rushed it really hard. I remember HBO offered D&D an extra season or two to finish the story, and they said they'll do it in one.
That's right. I do remember hearing
Yeah.
all of this.
Of course HBO would. It's not in HBO's interest to finish it as soon as possible. They would have wanted more seasons anyway.
Yeah.
This is another fun fact, Charlie. Did you know D&D, the guys that we're talking about? At least one of them. I'm not sure which one, but one of them made Troy.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
So they're weaker when they're together.
Yeah, they're stronger separated.
We're figuring this out. They're the opposite of the Wonder Twins.
Someone fact check that for me.
Troy is a very good movie.
No, it's not. I rewatched it the other night.
No, it's a great fucking movie. Brad Pitt looks so cool, especially that Hector fight.
That was the only
I
part
like that
enjoyed.
your first positive point about them writing that movie is that Brad Pitt looks so cool.
Yeah.
They really did a great job working him out.
Yeah, they did a great job making Brad Pitt look cool.
But Achilles is so like there's no likable character apart from Hector, and Hector dies.
Yeah, true. Okay. He's not like a likable guy, but he's just kind of cool when they fight.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah,
Spectre
it was a
Jacob.
screenplay by David Benioff. So that's one of the D&Ds. So he just wrote the screenplay, which was already based on like a historical document or story. So he didn't really do much.
I can't believe this fact, but I guess it is true. I think he was 40 years old in that movie.
Who?
Brad Pitt.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, because he's 57 right now, and that's like a 2004 movie.
He's 57.
He's 57.
Oh,
He looks so good for 57.
I know. It's
I
crazy.
guess being really rich and just having training for your livelihood is good for you.
Yeah, I know. That's fucking crazy.
Who would have guessed?
there's also some genetics in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was blessed.
Yeah, by Achilles.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Why do all of our conversations turn into this?
I don't. Well, the last couple tier lists, we always talk about Troy.
Yes.
I thought it was relevant with that information.
Somebody
It's
said
cool.
it's called plastic surgery. No. He would never.
No, he's immune to it. His skin just naturally gets all Botoxy like that.
His brother kind of looks like a. His brother looks like a. I don't know, a common version of him, like a less like if he was a trading card, he'd be a less
Let me
rare
see.
version.
Oh, you're right. He looks like the politics version of Brad Pitt.
Oh, Doug Pitt?
Doug
Yeah.
Pitt. Even his name isn't as
Wait,
cool.
that's such a dumb name. He dug a pit.
Oh, poor Doug.
I feel bad for Doug.
His brother got all. He's not a bad-looking man, but when your brother was blessed by the gods,
Yeah, what
He's
happened
fine.
here?
Plus, he's probably like 60. He probably looked fine when he was
Yeah,
younger.
I wonder
That's
how
true.
old Doug is.
he's probably in his 80s and looks like that.
Born 1966, so he's 47, right? 47?
Oh, he's younger.
No, wait, I'm super wrong.
Wait, 86?
66. 50.
Brad Pitt's
50 oh,
brother-
Jesus, it says right here. It does the math. Age 54.
Brad Pitt's brother talks mom's anti-gay letter.
Oh.
Ooh.
All right, we gotta add Brad Pitt's mom to the bad celebrities tier list.
Yeah, where would you go on the Star Wars tier list, I wonder?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a Jar Jar Corden, it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely Jar
Fuck
Jar
that.
Corden.
Fuck that guy. I mean, girl, whatever. All right, let's wrap.
Yep, that was good. Good work, boys.
Good work, everybody. It was fun.
We weren't in disagreement on too many of these, I don't think.
Just Attack of the Clones, really.
And Rogue One.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, boys. Good work.
All right, talk to you guys later.
See you, boys.
Alrighty, see you guys.
All right, I'm going to take a break, work out, and then probably do some bad games tonight. So, like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 hours from now, like 10 p.m. EST. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to the resub LL Cool J. And no, I didn't hear about that fibble. I'll look into it, though. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Everyone who donated, big thank you. New subs, welcome aboard. Sub means a lot, so thanks for subbing. I appreciate the generosity. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your afternoon or early evening. And I'll see you in like 4 hours. See ya.